to the exclusive interview with the founder of VX Paul and Tom. And today we will explore the exciting growth of VX. And it's what that has captured the attention of people all around the world. And our broadcast will begin tomorrow. Yeah. Let's talk about the history and the background about it. Maybe about Paul. How do you create this sport? Yeah, because we don't know the history or background. Yeah.
Okay. It was a misunderstanding.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I had a business, a not very successful business, dealing in technology transfer. So I helped people bring new products to new markets. One of my clients said, he was on the telephone and he described something he had in his hand, and I totally misunderstood. And I imagined people running around firing tennis balls at each other from this thing, like paintball balls. When I saw what it got, it was nothing like that, but we got the idea of throwing balls at each other. So we drafted some basic rules, trialled it, it evolved, and so now we say the recipe is a little lacrosse, pitch and pelota, a dash of dodgeball, and a hint of hockey.
So you brainstorm from different kinds of sports?
Well, no, it just sort of developed into that. It's not evolved from a sport, but people can see elements of the different sports in it.
Yeah. So what do you think is the most important maybe requirements or criteria in playing these sports?
Have an open mind.
Oh, yeah.
Because when you tell people about it, they think, oh, yeah, that's interesting. But then when they see it, then their eyes open. When they try it, that's when it makes the difference.
Yeah, sure. Maybe Tom, what is your first time?
It was a long time ago. I don't know. It was quite fun. I think it's something. If I said almost quite primal, that idea of being chased, and trying to avoid something, and I think for that reason it's very fun. It's like when you were a kid and you just chased each other in the schoolyard. You get that sort of feeling. But also there's satisfaction in the skills that you can develop.
COVID hit the sport very hard. Because it's a young sport, it did hit us very hard. But some clubs went under, some clubs survived. And
what is your maybe the most unforgettable competition before? Do you have
for me,
interesting experience maybe?
For me, it was the 2019 V2 World Championships, when we'd had the World Championships in Italy, we'd had the World Championships in India, and in 2019 it came home to York. And we had the VX World Cup. So the VX World Cup is every 4 years, the V2 World Championships every year. We had the VX World Cup and we had the V2 World Championships. And we held the championships at the gym where Tom works. He's a personal trainer who works at David Lloyd, and they let us have 3 squash courts, and we had it for 3 days, and it had everything. We had players from several different countries. It was a big competition. It had a youth competition, a masters competition, a seniors competition, and because it was in its home ground, we had so many spectators coming to support specific players, and we had drama, we had noise, we had excitement, and we had an incredible high level of skill. And if that tournament had been on television, this sport would have been through the roof. If I can give you an example, our 3 World Cup finals, we had the Youth World Cup final, the Senior World Cup final, and the Masters World Cup final. The Masters World Cup final was a man and a woman, because this sport is played on an equal basis by males and females. And at half time, the woman was winning.
Yeah, women's team.
No, just one-on-one.
One-on-one.
Yeah, the woman was winning. And in the second half, the man took a catch, took another catch, and the woman just deflated, and he won. But it was dramatic. In the seniors, we had the top 2 players in the world. We had Tom and Scott, and whenever they play, it is just a spectacle. The skill levels are just jaw-dropping. But the match of the whole tournament was the Youth World Cup final. Now, this was between a girl called Becca Fram and a boy called Andrew Davidson. And they met in the group stages. They were in the same group, and Andrew won. He beat Becca in the group stages, and he won the group. But they get to the semi-finals, and Becca has to meet Oliver Stocks, who was the reigning youth world champion. And she was nervous. I said, Becca, in the European Championships, he only beat you by 6. She said, yeah, you're right. And she beat him in the semi-finals, and it was the timekeeper was counting down 5, 4, 3, and it was all square. They were drawing, and Becca had a ball, and she waited, bang, right on the end. She won by 1 point.
Oh.
She's in the final against Andrew Davidson, who beat her in the group stages. So he's confident because he's already beaten Becca, but she's confident because she's got better and better and better, and she's just beaten the world champion. And she really went for it, didn't she? She absolutely went for it. So much so that Andrew collapsed with an asthma attack and had to go off, get his breath, and come back on. And at that point, Becca had lost her momentum, and Andrew was fighting back, but she held on, and she became a female world champion. And that's the beauty of this sport. It's gender neutral at every level, and we have female world championships, and it's so dramatic. V2 is fast, and it is dramatic. And for me, that was the best memory. If we'd had that event on television, this guy would have been through the roof. This sport would have been through the roof. It's fantastic.
Is this your
Yeah, I think so, yeah. As you were talking there, it was sort of like reliving it. No, that was a good one. That was probably the best one.
It was really an inspiring story. Yeah, I think. And then what do you think is the difference in the gender in playing this game, this sport? Yeah, the gender in gender.
Do you want to go with this, please? That was your meeting.
Well, I think starting off, I think girls tend to go for a different approach than the boys. I think boys like to try and just throw big shots and be sort of big on court.
Powerful.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you throw and you miss, if you're in a room like this, you throw and you miss and the ball's gone, or on a squash court you throw and you miss and it bounces everywhere, even if you hit. But girls tend to go for smaller shots where they can rack up a lot of points and go hit, retrieve, and I think they play a lot smarter than the boys do.
What we say is the girls play with this muscle and the boys play with this muscle.
Oh yeah.
See, the sport is all about control. Control of the balls, control of the space, and control of the self. If you're throwing the ball hard, you're not controlling yourself.
Yeah.
Also, if you get angry, you're not controlling yourself, but that's the story. But as Tom said, if you throw the ball hard, you've got to control the ball.
So tomorrow is our World Cup, and what is future expectation in the World Cup?
I'll go first with this one.
Okay.
First of all, I've got to say a really big congratulations to VX Hong Kong, because this should have been in 2020, and then there was a small matter of COVID, and we've had to postpone, and COVID restrictions were lifted late in Hong Kong, so this event had to be organised at very short notice. And because it's been organised at short notice, we've had a lot of difficulties to overcome. And they are working very, very hard to overcome difficulties right to the end. But no matter what happens, what difficulties, whether the difficulties can't be overcome or can be overcome, this is the first World Cup since COVID. And when we had our first V2 World Cup in 2012, there was players from England, from Scotland, and one from America. That was it. And it was only the senior level. And to some degree, we've come full circle, because starting after COVID, most of the players, we've got one tournament, seniors, there's no Masters of Youth at this one. And most of the players are from Hong Kong, and then we've got England and Uganda, possibly Pakistan still. So we've gone back to the basics. So this, for me, this World Cup is almost the rebirth of VX, So I've got to give a really big congratulations to Hong Kong for making this happen.
Oh, yeah, thank you very much. And how about Tom? What's your expectation for tomorrow competition?
I don't know about expectation, but I'm excited to see how Hong Kong play because Paul was saying it's been 5 years since you were last here. 5 years. How long since we had an international World Cup or like a World Cup in another country?
It will be 2018 in India.
Yeah, so 2018 India, then we had 2020, and then, well, basically it's been a long time. This big gap with COVID. I'm very excited to see how like Hong Kong have developed and what techniques they've developed, and see how they are on court.
I have to say, from when I was here 5 years ago, the level now is like this.
Yeah,
I am
more
really
people.
impressed. Really. I played a game last night against one of your players, and he beat me.
Ooh,
Was it Oscar?
Oscar.
Oscar.
yeah.
Yeah. And it wasn't a fluke. He deserved the win.
Yeah, but I think it is great that more people know about this sport and more people join this game. Yeah, and so maybe just few sentence today, maybe to encourage or some few sentence to our teammates. Yeah, for all teammates tomorrow in competition.
Right? You're making history. It's as simple as that. You're making history. And well done.
Yeah, Tom.
No, just good luck to all the participants, yeah, may the best player win.
Yeah, so thank you, Paul and Tom, for the interview. And we also hope everyone get a good results tomorrow and enjoy the game. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Catherine.
Yeah.